not to be confused with ginger. Basically just advantages or disadvantages between male and female or comparisons.
Gender stereotyping is when objects and things are associated with a certain gender.
Stereotyping is when people have certain attitudes or beliefs that a gender should act a certain way. So like boys playing sports, girls wearing pink, stuff like that.
Gender stereotyping is like when like boys have a certain set of rules and girls have a certain set of rules, and it's kind of like a subconscious kind of like agreement that that's just how it's supposed to be.
Yes, I have experienced it. The main thing that comes to mind is physicality. And at the gym, I work out a lot, and there have been, many times at the gym where it was assumed that because I'm a woman, I have limitations, or I'm limited. Just even as simple as something like as much, or the weight that I can lift. And I am limited, but I am not limited to the same weight that every other woman is limited to. There's fluctuations and variations between all women and all men also.
I once experienced it today when someone assumed that I should shave my legs because I'm a female.
Max.
Where they have the boys section of toys and girls is like Barbies and boys is cars.
So I have witnessed gender stereotyping a little bit, and it happened a lot last semester in the engineering classes that I was in and that some girls on my hall were in. Just different boys in the classes would always comment about the girls' abilities and girls being engineers and stuff like that when they were just as capable as the boys were, if not more.
I have danced for like 15 years, so like it's kind of a shock to see a male dancer. Like it's rare, and that's not something that's very common, just because there's kind of that stereotype that dance is just for girls.
Well, experience that I just have grown up in a world that it doesn't. I don't know. I guess probably with showing your emotions. I'm an emotional person. I keep things inside though, probably because I was told I'm supposed to. But I get emotional at things in winning or losing in sports. I watch a movie, I might cry. So people make fun of me, including my daughters. I guess I've experienced it, and I see it, and I know it's going on.
I think that sometimes it limits what they think that they can do, particularly at school when they're younger students. If a boy thinks that he can't try out for the play, I think that it probably limits them a lot. Or again, if a girl thinks that she can't go do a certain sport because she's told that she couldn't participate in it, or that she shouldn't do like a science Olympiad because that's not what girls are supposed to do.
Yes, an example of gender stereotyping is when you're on the playground with all your friends and the boys only pick boys for their teams.
Gender stereotyping can definitely affect students in the classroom. I think that it may sort of like hurt their morale or make them feel bad about themselves, and then they might be less likely to do the thing that they're being stereotyped against, I guess. So that could be, like I said, girls in like the math and engineering classes being less likely to want to take those classes because of the stereotype that comes with being in them.
I don't think there's any kind of like regimented, legalistic solution to it. I think it's going to take we as society and we as culture expanding our minds to believe that just because you have a certain set of genitalia does not mean a certain set of facts about me or my male counterpart, but no, I don't think there's any way to like make up rules and laws and stuff like that that's going to completely eradicate it, because what we believe is what we believe, and it's based on what we start to learn, as soon as we're birthed, and what, I'm getting deep here, sorry. And with money driving everything, especially advertising and marketing and the products that we buy, until we stop idolizing and using and being a slave to money, then I don't really think that there's going to be any solution to it except what starts in our homes.
But I think it's a gradual change that needs to start with our children. So starting in the classroom, making sure that all feel equal and that there's nothing associated with the gender.
I think it probably has to do with the adults around changing their view of things. We as adults need to not gender stereotype the students. I think it comes from our perception of them, and therefore it gets reflected on them, so it starts with the adults.
After doing our interviews, I thought it was very interesting that all the people that we interviewed said they did know what gender stereotyping was and that it affected all of them, which I think is really interesting because like the other issues that we just discussed in this class, like everybody may not know of. So I thought that was interesting.
So from the people I interviewed, nobody said that their intellectual capabilities were challenged. It was more their physical capabilities. As one of the interviewees said that in the gym they were challenged, and not in the classroom necessarily, but in their PE classes they felt that they were challenged because they were female and not male, and they were considered not strong. And then I don't think that there is a magic solution to ending gender stereotyping, as many of the interviewees said. It'll be a gradual change of our culture.
We found that gender stereotyping really starts in the elementary school, and so the positive change we need to make is going to begin with us as teachers. We need to not place bias on students because of their gender and not assume something, not that they're going to be good at something or bad at something because they're boys or girls. But I really think that it's going to be a gradual change in society starting now to end gender stereotyping.